guys, it's Catherine and Kevanie here at DIY Chicks, and we're here with another fun project this week. Yay. We're going to do
some macrame
plant hangers.
Yes.
So this is a really actually easy project. It might look intimidating, but we're gonna try and make it as simple as possible for you guys. So if you're interested in making something like this, well, or this exact thing, definitely stay tuned. We're gonna show you what we need. So.
Yes. All right. So over here we have our materials table. So the things that we have is a little green pot that we're gonna put right in the middle, just like the one that we used in the beginning.
And this is a 6.3 inch, just so you can get an idea on size.
Yes. And then we have some cotton rope, and how many millimeters?
I think it's
is it?
5 millimeter. It's a little bit thick, so you can always use a little bit smaller.
And I think it comes in what, 1, 2,
3, 4.
And you can get really thick if you want, but you don't want to go too thick because it is harder to tie the knots into. And then we have some decorative things here. So we have this really thin
embroidery thread.
Yes. You can also use some really cool yarn. You can add in some beads in there. We don't have any of that except for the embroidery thread.
And we'll show you how we're going to use that when we're actually
It's going to be really cool. And then we got a pair of scissors to cut everything that we need. And then this right here is a little keychain ring. We're going to use that at the top so we can use it to hang on things.
Yeah. And you can get bigger ones of these, but this seemed to work fine for us.
Yes.
So the first thing you're going to need for this, like we said, for a 6-inch pot or even a 5-inch pot, we did 4 lengths of rope at about 9 feet per piece. So I've measured on my body where 3 feet is. So this is about 3 feet.
Yes.
So we'll just do 3 of these and then cut and then do that 4 times.
And this is going to take a lot of the cotton macrame yarn, so definitely make sure you have enough and you get a big enough roll so that way you don't have to stop and go out and buy more.
It's like almost to the end.
And you can find this kind of rope at Michael's, Joann's, your fabric store will have this kind of stuff, and even Amazon. They have the bigger rolls for a little bit better of a price, so if you're going to make a lot of these, I definitely would buy it in the big rolls. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
So we got our 4 ropes right now, and they're nice and long. And the next thing you're going to do is take one of your metal rings, take all of your ends in one hand, and
putting it through?
And put it through. Here, maybe if
yeah, let me make them even.
Let me hold the ring and
okay.
you can put them.
I'm gonna make them even because they are kind of frail at the bottom. Perfect.
And you're just going to want to take it to the middle of your rope to where it's sitting like this, evenly, or pretty close to even.
Yeah, about right here. And you can always cut the ends at the very end to be even, so it's okay.
They'll be uneven until the very end because of all the knots we're going to tie, so just keep that in mind. If it's not even at the beginning, that's okay, just leave it until we're done. So next thing we're going to do is hang it. We've got a lovely little hook here that we're going to use for this. So, so it's nice and long, and we're just going to sit it right down on there. I'm going to just straighten these a little bit so we can do our knots easier.
All right.
So our first knot that we did up here is a half square knot. And the way this works is if you just do the halves, you're gonna end up with like a helix shape, kind of like a DNA. So you can see it already started to turn, but we just did 3, and then I did the opposite and went kind of the other way. And so that's just with the half knots. You can do the full square knots, which we'll show you how to do in just a second, and just do it straight down if you wanted, versus having that kind of twist in it. So there's, like we said, there's a lot of different things you can do with this. So what we did here is I just went ahead and split our 2 sides of rope, so they're just hanging straight down.
So 4 and 4.
4 and 4. And I went ahead and took the back 2 from the edges. And to do this square knot, you're going to bring this one in front like this. You're going to bring the other side in front of it, so it's like this. And then bring it around the back. So this is where it gets a little confusing. Bring it straight around the back, and then bring it over your first rope like this.
So you're literally squaring it right around the top.
And then
4.
you can kind of just ease it up here just like this. And once you get to your top, and I just want to make sure all my ropes are straight under it so that it does it where I want it. It's going to be a little crooked right now because it's the first knot. And you just pull it nice and tight like that. Okay, so to do the square knot, now you're going to just do it the opposite way. So you're going to put this rope on this side around like this. Bring this one in front of it, then bring it around behind your rope and bring it through, and this would give you the square if you wanted to just do it straight down and do a square knot like that. But the way we did it on this one is we went ahead and did that first same knot the same way we did it. so we brought this one around like this one back behind, and back through, and we just did that same knot 3 times like that. So what will happen if you keep doing this is you'll get, like we said, the helix shape.
It'll create that spiral.
Nice little spiral. But we didn't want like a really long one or a lot, so we just did 3 of those. This is the 3rd one. So again, you bring your first rope over, you bring your second rope in front of your first rope, then around the back, and through your
pull it right on through.
Yeah.
Ease it up there.
Yeah. So that's your 3rd one.
And I've even seen it where people will go all the way down, and they'll create that knot, and then they get,
it really looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what I did for the second one, I did it a little bit different because I just like to mix things up a little bit. And I went ahead and took, so I left those alone, and I went and I found my front 4 ropes. So here they are. And instead of, I did it the opposite way. So I'll turn it around and show it. Well, it's just basically I did it like, turned it around and did the same thing with the front
on
ropes.
the opposite side.
So I brought this guy around the front like this. Well, I mean, imagine they were like on the sides like this. I brought this guy here, brought this side one around, back around through the loop, and pulled up and nice and tight. So you can pull all your ropes down to kind of adjust it. And then this will create your second one. So that's 1. I did 3 of them on this side, so it's the same thing. Around, behind, pull up, make sure your ropes are nice and tight. So it's just kind of a little bit different. This is a really fun one. Like I said, you can really just do any way you want. You don't have to use 6 of them. You could keep going. You could do whatever you want to do. But that's how we created our first little section. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. A lot of things you can do with it. You don't even have to do this. You could just tie a regular simple knot in that. But this is what we're doing for ours. So that's that. And then next thing we did is we went ahead and looked at about 12 inches. So we're thinking about here.
Yes.
And you're gonna split your rope into 2 pairs. So you'll have like 2. Okay. 2.
Grab 2.
2 and 2.
And then 2.
So this will be the start of going down to for your pot. And so what you're going to do is you can kind of play around with it also on this. You can make higher knots and lower knots, and it just depends how many you're going to do. For ours, we just had 2 sets of knots with these little, with the pairs. So we're going to start with one at about 12 inches. So we're going to right about there. And with all these pairs, we're just going to tie a simple knot. So it's just around and then pull it through. And then you can just tighten it where you want. But what you do want to make sure of, so maybe before you pull it tight, want to make sure they're even.
Measures.
And so if they're even, so maybe yours is a little lower, and then you can just go and head and tighten it up. So, and make sure, and they don't have to be exactly perfect, but just close, because it'll show up on the top.
Yep.
So we'll do the same thing with these back 2 now. Okay. So it's just make a loop.
Yep.
And bring your string through, nice and easy. And then make sure it's even. Tighten it up a little bit, and that's that. So that's super easy already.
Yes,
so that's our first set of knots. Our second set of knots, what you're going to do is you're going to
I'm gonna grab these 2. Now grab these.
Here's our set of them. What you're going to do is you're just going to take 2 and switch them between the 2. So you're going to this is going to create our little, like, the web-like effect. So it'll be like
just like that.
So you're just creating V's, taking your pairs and splitting them in half, and then connecting them with the rope next to them.
And it'll be the same kind of knot going down.
And the next one, we did about 4 or 5 inches is about what you want. So probably about here is good. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing that you did on the first one. So just make a loop, bring your string through, make sure they're even. I have a big old loop, hold on. Is that even right there?
There, yeah. Let me go mine a little bit higher. There we go.
Perfect, and then pull it tight.
All right.
And then keep matching and go around yours. Yep.
I'll let you go first, and then I'm gonna turn it around.
So bring it through your loop, just like that. Make sure it's even with your other ones. Pull it nice and tight. And perfect. All right, you got it.
And I'm going to do mine.
And this is really easy to take the knots out, so if it's too high or too low, don't worry about it. It's very easy to kind of make adjustments to it. So Alright, so that's that. And then next thing you want to do is take your pot and make sure it fits in this little area and that it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
So basically we're going to have it like this, and then we're going to tie all our ones together at the bottom.
So it'll be just like that.
So I like where that's falling. I think that looks good. And so we can take that out, and she marked it on her hand where it is, so it's almost about the same length as this for this particular one anyway.
So I'll go ahead and knot that.
So go ahead and make
It'll be just one big giant knot.
So just take all your string and make one big giant knot at the bottom right there for you. And then pull it nice and tight. Nice. Perfect. And then once that's pulled tight, we can go ahead and see how it sits in there. So you just open your little thing up.
Yeah.
And then you can adjust it to make it nice.
That's perfect.
And even. And there you go. So super easy.
Yeah.
That one, again, like we said, you can really just use your imagination. Add more knots up here, add a different knot here, whatever you want to do. And once you're done, you can go ahead and, because we have all these lengths that are different lengths,
we'll go ahead and cut those.
If you like it, or we can just cut it straight across, which is what we're going to do. So, do you want me to cut it? You got it.
I'll cut it. You want to hold it tight for me, and then I'll cut it? And if you have any beads or anything like that, you can always stack up little beads on here. You can stack them down here at the bottom.
More knots down here.
You could do them in between. Even if you want to tie more knots up here, you could do whatever you want.
Like we said the possibilities are endless on this.
Yes,
so
and I think we're going to use our string to decorate ours.
Do some color blocks on it,
I think we're going to put some down here. We might even put some up here, kind of create some tassel look. It looks like a little nest.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
We'll have fun doing that.
I know. So fun.
Yeah, and I saw the one you did over here too.
Yeah, that was that. That was that.
The first one.
Okay.
Let's do this. You want to be in our outro?
Come here, Terry. Let's talk about macrame. The meaning of the word. How it was back in the 70s.
Alright guys, so that was our girl Terry that you seen in there. She is so funny. She always tries to dodge our videos, but we're gonna get her in one of these videos one day. Alright, so this is our finished product.
So we had some fun with the color. We did some color blocking on it, and then we just kind of left these tassels on because we just used our imagination and did whatever we thought looked nice.
Yes.
So we've also got this little bird in here as our little friend. You're in the video, John.
You messed it up. We were on a roll. Go away.
That was John. He's one of our salesmen.
He's goofy.
He had to come interrupt our video. Anyways, like we were saying, this is the final product. Nice and easy. So much you can do with it. So many ideas and stuff. Like you said, beads.
Yeah. And we ended up putting... we had a piece of small statue here that we kind of put at the top of it, so even when you're done with it, when you put your actual plant in it, you can add other little things into it to make it look nice, just to give it an extra effect.
What are the ones that spin? Pinwheels, something like that.
Yeah.
So many options, so a lot of fun.
Alright guys, well thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Watch us next week for our next video. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. See you next time. Bye.